what I have here is an Anycubic Cobra. This is the base model. This was recently put onto a clearance sale on eBay through Anycubic's actual website. They were selling refurbished models for $100. And we are going to see what kind of quality, not only that we can get from a refurbished item from Anycubic, but also if this is even worth spending your money on nowadays. For me, I already knew this was going to be worth it because I just wanted the second printer on my lot, and I was actually looking at this model as it first released when I bought my longer LK5 Pro. For me personally, because of the TrackTribe extruder gear, I'm going to be able to print TPU, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm wanting to do. I plan on creating engine pieces and functional parts that are going to require a lot of gaskets and sealing surfaces. I needed something that could print TPU. Massive piece of this black foam. I feel like I have a smartphone in my hand right now. Bag of goodies. This is basically already completely put together. Probably have to tighten this up a little bit. Oh my gosh. This is so smooth. Filament holding bracket. Anycubic. Look at that. You got their logo all over everything. Oh my gosh. This is a really big piece of foam. I love this. I've wanted one of these for a minute now. Oh my gosh. Yes. If I can just get this out of the foam. That's cool. And this is much smaller than my longer LK5 Pro. It's a smaller build surface and everything like that, but just the overall footprint of this. My other printer comes out to about right here. I was looking to get a smaller printer so that I could, I don't want to say move around with it because this is a delicate piece of equipment, machinery, so you don't really want to travel with this all over the place. But if I was going to be setting up a printer temporarily at a different location, I wanted a smaller footprint to work with, and I really like this. I'm not a Transformers guy. I know a lot of people that love it, a lot of my friends love it, but this just screams Transformer. The tiny little scratch right there next to the cable ribbon. So far, that's all I'm seeing. Of course, all results may vary. That's it. I can't even feel that with my finger. That is like an absolute surface flaw. This used to be like a well over $200 machine when it first came out. I'm not very surprised that the quality of this is very high for how small of a build surface this is. Considering everyone wants to print at like 6,000 feet per second these days, these are considered obsolete and slow. Not having something is a lot slower than having the fastest option on the market, so this is already leaps and bounds above nothing. And if you compare this to where printer technology was at roughly 5 or 6 years ago, something of similar quality as this would have costed $500, $600, $700 easily. But that's not the mindset that we have these days. Nowadays, if it's not brand new, it's not worth having, which I think is a complete waste of time and money and mental space. And healthy competition in the market, sure, but if your goal is to produce enough to have one in every household, you don't need to do that 5 times over every single year in hopes to have the better product. At least have a different supply line. But anyway, that's a different story. Our USB cable, nifty little toolkit. These are probably the tiniest flush cutters I have ever seen in my life. I feel like I've got like some Chihuahua toenail clippers in my hand. High quality, vacuum sealed, generic, we don't know where it came from. It comes with a replacement nozzle and a PTFE tube, USB drive, and an 8 gig memory card, and a bag of bolts. Go. So from my understanding, there's no way to actually turn that off on this specific brand, Anycubic. The original Cobra series does do this every time it turns on. I've already had this turned on and off probably a dozen times just to make sure everything was functioning before I continued recording, and every single time. Okay. Okay, that was pretty easy. Okay, stop. Alright, let's clear all this off. And I forgot to put the memory card in. And on this model specifically, there's a card reader here, but I don't know what it's for. You have to use the one that's on the front of the printer. But honestly, I'm kind of getting a little used to it now. Okay, we'll go to print, owl, because that's what this comes with. And we are just going to do a test print as is and see how it turns out. Okay, our print is done at 1 hour and 46 minutes. It's like a shiny or a silk type PLA, which honestly, this came out pretty good. I have an issue running this on my my longer LK5 every once in a while. The lines don't quite come out so clean, but I've also ran this in a filament dryer, so I don't know. I'll have to do some experimenting back to back and see if that helps make the difference. But overall, this looks pretty good. Kind of liking the texture of this PEI bed. But yeah, 1 hour and 46 minutes, which I don't think is too bad. I've got this filament that I'm used to using, and I'm just kind of curious how fast it can print this. Okay, got our filament swapped over, owl G-code, print, and these typically are going to be like 40 to 50 millimeters a second, most of the print files. Because this is able to handle 180 millimeters a second, supposedly, 3 300% speed should be anywhere from 120 to 150 millimeters a second. So, let's try that. Well, at 300%, we're now looking at 1 hour and 20 minutes. So it did speed things up. I guess that just means there's a little bit more potential for this thing. I freaking love these beds. I'll love it more once I get used to using it. Isn't it funny how you want things and then once you get it, you're like, what the do I do with this now? I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, the skirting is coming off, or the brim is coming off very easily. You see a little artifacting right here. I'm hoping I can get that on camera. Flower on top of its head's a little on the shoddy side, but overall though, I mean that's with this printer turned up, that's pretty good. So with a little bit of fine tuning in Cura, I bet that we can make it. I think we can get to that 180 millimeters a second. But overall, yeah, I think $100. This is awesome. So if you're thinking about getting into 3D printing, I would very highly recommend this if you're on a budget and don't know if you're going to stay in it for a while, because so far the only thing that I don't like about it, and I'm just kind of getting used to it because it's kind of like a happy little sound of, hey buddy, we're gonna get to hang out now. So yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you later.